Hi guys, welcome to Diaries today, or whatever it is for you. I'm glad you could join me. I really try not to, number one, give any misleading previews, number two, to do any clickbait. I do think of that stuff, but this is not about plastic surgery. So I'm really sorry. I put up a picture of that, and that, yes, I've had plastic surgery, big deal. It was liposuction all along the midsection. There you go. There's a show. No. I'm going to be talking about a disorder. Now, I know that YouTube is real delicate about these things, so I'm going to say it and then use the initials of it. It is a disorder that I have suffered from, not seriously, I guess, depending, but not profoundly in affect. It's body dysmorphia. So we're going to refer to it as DM. Maybe I'll get bleeped out for that. I don't know. You won't know what DM means. But anyway, DM. So I never had this feeling before and some of this are going to sound like that you can't believe one moment could happen and completely change somebody's perspective on everything. Up until 14, the 14th year, right? About up until then, I didn't have a problem with wearing t-shirts. I never thought, I knew I was slender, but it was always a non-issue. So then when I started doing, falling into, being 14, I also happened to try to work out a little bit. I've actually put up pictures of myself shirtless, doing that at 14, scrawny little kid, right? But I didn't think that. So my dad came over to my house where I was living, not his place, and saw me on the patio, and I was doing that, and he put his hand out and pinched my arm right here. And he said, I don't know what he said. He pinched it, and there was some inference about being skinny. From that moment on, I had a problem. And I don't know if other people have this problem, it being triggered by one thing. Maybe it does. I haven't delved into it. I've never actually shared this with anybody. So what else is new, right? Sean's sharing yet another thing that he hasn't shared with anybody, with everybody. So from that moment, it was a whole new landscape for me. I, first of all, would not wear t-shirts at all, which I used to all the time. Didn't want to show my arms under any circumstances. Then it started to spread to, so to speak, to other areas of my body that I thought were too skinny. Now, in my mind, in the mirror, what I'm seeing is a skinny kid at 14 having his arm pinched. That's what I see and saw for years. So maybe that's how this works. I don't know. So I carried that through high school. I really did. You always saw me in long sleeve shirts. One time I went to a hot tub place with a couple of my besties. They were all girls. And I went in with swim trunks and a t-shirt. And, it kind of wasn't that big a deal because, we were busy with other stuff. But it was there. Even my girlfriend in high school, the ninth grade girlfriend, knew that I wore 2 layers of pants. She could tell you that. I wore 2 jeans. It was ludicrous because all it did was make the jeans look super tight, but I thought they were filling me out. And then it showed a lot of other stuff I didn't be showing with such tight jeans on. Again, no arms under any circumstances in public whatsoever. Now, this is where it gets serious. So I'm coasting through the end of high school. I'm wearing sweaters, but it doesn't really sort of hit really bad until I start approaching let's say my 17th, 18th, 19th year, right in there. And I'm not blaming Hollywood. Hollywood can, take a flying whatever about whatever that they are in denial about, or I don't know. I don't care anymore, really. I'm just honoring some people's memory that there are thousands, in the thousands. So there was this expectation in the 80s to be not skinny. Emo stuff or whatever was not around in the 80s. If you were skinny, you were cast as a dork.